everyone, this is Erin Stetzer with Stetzer Builders, and we are here to talk about trim carpentry, which includes interior doors, cabinets, hardware, you name it. So anything that has to do with fine woodworking, that's what we're here to talk about.
Hello, I'm Gabe Trevino. I'm a second generation carpenter. I started about 30 years ago at an early age, and then I started my company, TrevCo Construction, about 20 years ago. My dad is a first generation carpenter, and he started at an early age as well. And he's been doing this over 65 years.
Okay, so let's get to the nitty gritty. How do we actually work together, right? I have a building company. Gabe has
a shop that manufactures everything we need for the job site.
Yes. So the architects pull us into a project. Hey, Erin, we have a project that you want us to look at. Can you bring your trim carpenter? Yes. We are given a set of plans and specs. We hand that over to Gabe, and Gabe, what do you do with that?
So we do a general walkthrough with the architect, homeowner, and then we get a base, what is gonna need to happen, what they're looking for, and then establishing a budget. And then after that comes out, then it goes into the building stage and figuring out.
Right, so we compile the budgets. Trim carpentry is one of those cost codes, and we work through the details. You know, if we're going to talk about cabinets, what type of wood are we using? How does the hardware work with this cabinetry? What are the countertop? What are the heights? So we work through all those details to compile a budget. Sit down with everyone, and then either the budget's approved or we go back to work and fine tune the details.
I always bid the job to do it the best of my ability. And if I have questions, I have resources, like my father has been doing this for over 65 years. I also have a brother that's been in it about 40 years. So if I have a question, I can always refer to them for help. So we try to look at each job to be built at the highest level and use everything that I know in the best materials possible.
So that's why he's so valuable, what he just said. So who are my resources for our clients, right? So you just heard about this family business that's been around for 60 years, and your father and your brother specialize in certain things, you specialize in certain things. But to perform for our clients, we need the best possible resources. So that's a really good example of resourcing. So when we think of a trim carpenter, most times we think of, oh, baseboard cabinets, put the doors in, crown molding, done. What I want to share with you is that the trim carpenter is the one team that you see from sheetrock to the very end of the house.
So the process starts, of course, after we have the layout, we get our cut list and start cutting parts for cabinets. And then once they're being assembled, then we're getting a game plan on what are the conditions out on the field. Is it sheetrock yet? What stage is it out on the field? Now, maybe about 4 years ago, we started to do a lot of trimless houses with no casings that involves to, have the jambs receive a kerf in them so you have a sheetrock return. Now that's a game changer because we have to get in there before the sheetrock.
So we're framing the house, right? The framers are out there. Phone call, hey Gabe, can you put the door jambs in?
That's correct. So before sheetrock, we have to put the door jambs in, sometimes even the baseboard, depending on the details. But that's why we always have job site meetings with other trades, who's gonna be involved, and then we implement and execute.
So I was wrong, he starts at frame stage. He doesn't start at sheetrock.
Yes.
How does a client know that they have the right team? Where do they even start? Well, the first person they start with is the builder. And I'll speak a little bit from the builder's perspective. The builder has to be competent. I think the builder has to have a sense of ease, because during construction, there are ups and downs, and there has to be a sense of ease, a sense of urgency, get it done, but get it done well and get it done smart. And then really respect for clients' money and expectations. So part of the expectations is aligning the right team. So for example, we're here with Gabe and talking about Trim Carpentry. How does the homeowner know that the builder, Aaron Stetzer, has aligned with the correct team in Trim Carpentry? How would you talk about that?
Well, first of all is establishing the trust. And I guess for the homeowner, for them to really visualize what they're spending their money on and making sure that it's worth it, they come here to the shop and see the facility, number one. Number two, the process, how everything goes from here to out there installed. So after they come and see that, then they are more trusting in what our ability.
There's a sense of comfort.
That's correct.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And then if some clients are way too busy, then they need to know that I've done my research, right? I'm here looking at the shop. They need to trust me to make sure I'm providing the right resource. Okay, so let's give you guys some insight on how this entire workshop works behind the scenes, and then we'll also show you how that's implemented into a home.